Hi, my name is Burnie Burns, and this is Sin Media.
Hey, I'm Scott from Sin Media, and today I'm interviewing Burnie Burns.
Hey, good to see you, Scott.
Nice to see you too, Burnie. So I got a little present for you.
Oh, no kidding.
I thought it might be relevant if you just had some teeth.
Some candy teeth. All right. Is this like a thing you eat teeth with your teeth?
Yeah, it's just great. You can take them off and put them in your mouth, so you have teeth, extra teeth.
Scott, I see you splurged for the value pack of teeth here. That's
Do you
nice.
know? It's I come from Melbourne, and I can find those anywhere. They are so hard to find in Sydney.
Is this like a common thing? I've never seen these before in my life. I'm gonna have some of these, by the way. The rest of your interviews gonna be like.
No, I was like Melbourne. Like I could get one. I didn't think I need to. I thought I'd find them really easily in Sydney, but no. Apparently, we traveled.
You can put it in like this.
Yeah, and then you got
here.
Just show the camera.
Yeah, do one now too. What are they, marshmallow?
I didn't like that. It's just so great.
It's just like regular teeth.
It's just so great. So I'll just start off my interview. So we got Roosterteeth used to be the company that just produced Red vs. Blue.
Yes.
So you were just that company, but now you're doing so much stuff. How would you describe Roosterteeth to someone who just doesn't know it?
We are a unique kind of company in that we produce online video, but we're not a YouTube company, which is what most people, when they talk about online video, that's what they do. We have our own site. We have our own audience. Basically, we make content that we would want to watch, and we have a lot of faith there's other people that will want to watch the things that we're making. Because there's enough people out there who like what we like. And I think that's what sets Roosterteeth apart from just about everybody else, because we're making this content because we want to see it. So it comes from a very genuine space.
It's great because obviously you got acquired, but before that you were just sort of sponsor free. You got a couple of things that you sort of talk about, but there's no one really influencing you.
Well, yeah, the acquisition was a big deal because we were getting to the point where we were having so much growth that I was reinvesting in the company constantly. You take RTX in Austin, for example. There was years where I was I had to invest in that $200,000 because it basically lost that amount of money, and it was basically $200,000 to throw everybody a big party. That's money that didn't go home, but I still had to pay taxes on it and everything else. So it's after a while you get to a growth point where you're we need some more investment, and there was a billion ways to do that, and the one that made the most amount of sense was the acquisition with full screen.
And then they just sort of can fund your stuff.
Yeah, so the full screen has really enabled us to do bigger and better things. I mean, the crowdfunding project that we did, the campaign, funded Laser Team, and then now we have 3 other series that we're making this coming year that are bigger than anything we've made so far, and that's all thanks to all the production funds we have now, thanks to the transaction.
All right, so you worked in an IT company whilst at Roosterteeth, and you're sort of doing it on the side. At what point did you sort of go, wait a minute, I can sort of do this full time?
I was actually the last person to leave my job because I had a really good job in IT, and it was in the .com era. We were we were helping internet service providers roll up their networks all across the nation. I had a really good job, and so I think I didn't leave my full-time job until 3 years into Roosterteeth, and by that point I felt the obligation to make this thing as big as I could.
So you've been present at the birth of other conventions, and you've sort of been a big fan of other conventions. What was it like to have your own convention?
We learned a lot by going to lots of other conventions. At Roosterteeth, we study other things where we know other people have done them, like crowdfunding campaigns or the live events, big conventions like this. So we studied it, and we've been to lots of PAX conventions, we've been to Comic-Cons, anime conventions all over the place, and we learned a lot about how to run an event. And we just designed RTX the way we design a lot of content. We wanted it to be something that we would want to do ourselves. So this is a convention that we would want to go to.
Which is obviously what you want to do. It's when you make your own art, you got to make sure the art is what you want to make.
Yeah, it's got to be genuine. Otherwise, it just, people identify a lot of times these days, the video game culture or internet as a very lucrative vertical, and then they try to make content for those audiences, and it just doesn't feel genuine. And gamers sniff out something that's not genuine, immediately, and they hate being pandered to. I hate being pandered to as a gamer.
It's being sort of put into something that you're not comfortable with and sort of adjusting to what it is.
Just when somebody's faking it, you know what I mean? They're oh, you're gamers and you guys are crazy. Do some trash talk. It's shut up. You know what I mean? It's just the way other people approach gamers and the culture. It just it just feels like pandering.
So you started from filming Halo, and now you're sort of doing a live action movie, which you saw a couple of days ago in a cinema. Where does the next 12 years of Roosterteeth take you?
Well, I think we have all the aspects of the company in place for what is the modern media environment, because we have feature films, we have online content, we have narrative, we have animation, we have live action, we even have a gaming development division now too, and we just need to take those things and grow them bigger. Meanwhile, we need to be on the lookout for what the new form of content that people want to consume and get involved with that ourselves. AR, VR, those kinds of things. They're almost there, but not quite. We'll see. So, we're not going to jump in anything first because we have a lot of content that works, and we want to make sure it has a full run and we give it our full attention.
That was quite different to Matt's answer. Matt's answer was, we're going to play a podcast on the moon.
We're going to play a podcast on the moon. Matt's the CEO. Look, he actually has the clipboard with the game plan, so apparently I better get ready to go to the moon.
So we've got Rebus Blue was the foundation for Rooster Teeth. So why Halo? Why did you choose Halo to be sort of where you went?
Well, it's just we make content that we want to make, and we were playing Halo all the time. I was writing for a video game site, and I was the Xbox guy. And in the first year that the Xbox came out, that meant you were the Halo guy, because that's all anybody wanted to hear about was Halo, Halo, Halo. And so I was just trying to find new ways to make Halo more interesting, and we would have parties at my house where everybody came over with the Xboxes, and we'd set up in different rooms, and people would yell from one room to another. You do that enough, eventually you get inspired to make something where people in different bases are yelling across canyons at each other. So a lot of Red vs. Blue was born out of those LAN party environments.
If your life could be a video game, what video game would it be?
Man, I think if I had to live in any universe, I would love to live in the Mass Effect universe. There's just something about it I really like. I mean, obviously Halo's huge for me, but Mass Effect just seems like this utopian environment. It would be great to live in, except for when the Reapers come to destroy the galaxy.
I was about to say that the game does not end very happily.
No, it doesn't. Yeah, but it's fun to be there in the heyday.
What was it like to have Rebus Blue and then Bungie coming up to you and saying, hey, we want to support your show?
I think in any successful media career, film, television, whatever, there is an X factor in everyone's career. And it's for lack of a better term, it's almost like a luck moment. And you can recreate everyone's steps exactly, but you probably won't have that X moment, whatever it is, because that's what makes or breaks somebody's career. For us, that was somehow convincing Microsoft to loan us a multi-billion-dollar franchise to make funny videos on the internet. And I would love to tell you exactly how I did that, but I don't know. I was in the room and we talked it out, and it was just because of their good graces, of them saying, we don't really understand this stuff, but people seem to like it, and we're a company that values innovation, so let's see where it goes. And 13 years later, we're still seeing where it goes.
Just for a final sort of comment, what was it like to coming from a gaming background to then pass that on to your son and then now sort of make content out of it?
That's great. Where I am right now is making our shows like Game Kids and watching my kids grow up. Most of the games that I play now, I play with my kids. And it's great because, I've raised these two kids. They tend to like a lot of the stuff I like. I have a very fortunate career for a dad of two boys where I work in movies and video games and science fiction. And on the internet. So it's like, I'm like tailor-made for all their interests. And so being able to play games with them is great. Like I introduced games to them I was playing back in the 90s and they love them. So it's really fun to pass that along.
Thank you so much, and do enjoy the rest of it, and enjoy like your calm down and sort of just take a break.
Yeah, we got a little bit of time between then and now. There's a lot of people out there that would still need pictures and signatures, so I want to make sure we get to as many of them as we possibly can.
Maintain as many fingers as you can.
I have 10 so far. We'll see where I am at the end of the day.
All right, thank you so much.
Great.
It was lovely talking to you, and
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. I'm so sorry for doing the wrong hand.
Don't worry about it. It's the right hand, but yeah.
And I hope everything goes well and everything back in Austin is all well and good with your away.
Well, thank you so much, and thank you for covering the convention.
No worries.